All right, boys and girls, on this podcast, what I would like to talk to you guys about is more on how to get more new clients in the business, how to generate more new clients, and really how to think about what you should be doing to get more new clients. Because, of course, if you want to make more income, if you want to scale up your pricing, you're going to have to get new clients in the business. That's just what it comes down to. You can't scale up your prices. You can't scale up your income with your current clientele because you will drop your clients down. So the way I like to think about this is in four buckets. Now, I will not take credit for this type of structure. This is something I heard Alex Hormozi talked about. He had a structure of three, which is called more, better, new. But I think for the barber industry, I need to add a fourth one at the beginning, which is called working. And I'll go point by point, and you can kind of like self-select what area you're in at the moment in time to really understand what you should be focused on to generate more new clients. So at the basis of it, we have working. Okay, so that's the top point. Now, obviously, you have to get something working first before you can do more of what you're already doing to do then better to then do a new thing. Because if you don't have anything that's actually working, then you can't do more of what's not already working because it will get you more stuff of not working in the business. Means not any more new clients in the business, not scaling up income, and you'll be stuck at the same amount. Now, what do I mean by working? Typically, what I mean by working is anywhere between 20 plus new clients every single month at bare minimum. Ideally, like I would probably want to get around 30 plus. Okay, especially if you're below let's say a $50 price point, getting around like 20 or 30 new clients in your business every single month, no matter where you're located at, whether you're a barber who's in a barber shop, a studio, a private suite, you cut in your garage, wherever you might be at, that's kind of like a nice little golden rule that I would like to see out of the business. Now, what do you have to do in order to get something up to working? Well, number one, you have to post content, right? I think everyone understands in this day and age, content is going to be king in order to scale your business. Now, my pen doesn't want to work on the iPad. For those of you who are watching on Spotify, by the way, I'm doing a little doodle for you guys, just so you guys can understand a little bit better of like what I mean by this. So again, to get content up and working, you really need like a couple core components, okay? And this really comes down to, one, you want to have like a number of reach. Right? You want to have at least some more people like, let's say like a 50K to about 100K people reach per month overall. That's going to be pretty decent to get you some like average results. Second thing you want to go ahead and have is an actual weapon in business. Okay. Now, when I mean weapon, I mean a good focal point on your skill set in which you're showing the marketplace. Now, what a lot of barbers will do when they're like trying to like market to get new clients is they will show off every single skill set they have, which is a poor mentality of thinking. Because if you show off 30 different skill sets over a whole 30-day time frame, which is the whole entire month, you only get one input, one ticket into that machine to get you an output of a new client back. Whereas if you chose one skill set to focus on, let's say, for example, lineups. Let's say, for example, only beard lineups. Let's say, for example, only sculpted beards. Something around that more specific thing. You get 30 chances at marketing your business into the marketplace in front of your followers, in front of people who see your content, and they will see this thing every single day for 30 days. They will then convert into a new client because they feel, or when they see your content, they will be like, yes, this guy, this girl, this barber, that is what their specialty is, and I trust them with XYZ thing, whether it is a beard, whether it is a lineup. For me, for instance, of course, I don't have hair. I have a beard, and a beard that obviously needs to get lined up right now. It's not too like looking too good, to be quite honest with you. But when I am looking for a barber, Tough the Barber is my barber in Miami, Florida. But if I was to look for a new barber, there'd be only like maybe one or two things I'm really keying on, right? Number one is how that barber is going to shape my beard line to my overall face shape, making sure the line isn't crisscross, making sure, again, too, I have big cheekbones, so making sure this thing doesn't look all crooked. And equally as well, too, when they sculpt the beard, they sculpt it to my face shape. And those are things I look for. So if some barber was posting content out every single day, showcasing that as their weapon, they live in Miami, Florida, and they showcase it better than what Tough the Barber showcases it, I would probably leave and go to that barber. All right. And that's what happens when people like find your content. They will obviously already have a barber they're going to. right? So you have to keep in mind, you are legit trying to showcase your best weapon to then generate a client to take, not, I don't want to say like take them away from another barber, but to get them to leave their current barber and be a part of your business because you solve a specific problem and you showcase that day in and day out. If we don't have this, right? If we don't have this basic working mechanism, and that's all you really need to get about 20, 30 plus new clients in every single month. If you don't have this, your only focus is number one, get my reach up to like 50K per month, make sure I'm posting content, and like that can just be simply posting content every single day, right? Even if you just get like, let's say 30K people reach, that's like 1,000 views per day. One video, majority you can get at least 1,000 views a day, post every single day for the next 30 days. You will have your 30K people reach in a single month. And then on top of that, a good focus on one weapon, on one skill set. And the thing I always like tell like a private clients is really like when you first start off, anything under $50, just really focus on three things. Either it's going to be the hairline, the beard line, or the overall aesthetics if you do a lot of hairstyling. Just those three things. Because with those three things, those will give you like a good basis of a starting point to then scale up and generate as many new clients in the business. Of course, it might change later on, but it'll give you a good basis and a good starting point before you go anywhere else. Now, that's just on point number one on how to get this thing to working. Let's say you already have it working. Well, now you're in the mode of more, okay? And what I like to think of more is it could be in a couple of different facets, right? So more could mean more content, right? Because with more content, we want more reach. And with more reach, if the more people that we reach every single month, and if everything in our conversion rates holds high, meaning everything downstream of like when we post content to when people hit our profile, to when people click our booking link, to when people book an actual appointment with us, if those metrics hold true all the way through with increased reach, we will increase our new clients booked, NCB overall, okay? So how do we go ahead and get our post more content or get our reach up? Couple ways. Number one, well, you could go and post multiple times on a social media platform. For Instagram, for instance, that's probably not going to be your best bet because Instagram will actually limit the amount of reach you get per post. If you start posting like multiple posts per day, I only recommend one post per day on Instagram. And that's just what we see works best for our private clients through the long haul. However, on TikTok, it really just comes down to how much content do you have and how much good content can you post every single day. There is no limit. I've even seen some creators. I was just talking to this on our private Q&A call to our private clients in our elevated mentorship community that we work with. That I've seen people on TikTok, literally, they will post like 5 posts a day. Like they'll post one at the beginning of the day, then another hour later, post another one, then post another one in the next hour. And what they do, and I'll draw a representation for you, okay? So let's say this is like my one day right here. This is my time frame of a day, okay? So they'll post one right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll let those 5 posts run throughout the day, right? But what they'll do is they'll post that one day, and then the next day they'll do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on that third day, before they make any posts, they'll come back to this day one. And anything that gets below average, we'll call it BA, below average results on their page, they'll just delete. Anything that gets above average, AA, they will keep on the page. And so then they just go ahead and go and delete bad posts and keep really good posts. And then their profile looks like it's really, really healthy and continuously growing over an extended period of time. And that's the beauty with TikTok. You can post as many times per day as you want to. The limitation then becomes how many posts, how many good posts can you make per day? How much good content can you put out? As well as how is your awareness on how to make good content and upkeep that at a quality standard when you go quantity as well too, okay? And then this just becomes the more, right? More content, more reach, more new clients booked, and you just keep on pushing this thing higher and higher and higher. This can also mean that you just, again, too, you post maybe more in your stories. Maybe you do something else as well too. But it's just about getting more people reach to your platform, to your profile overall, to see more of your showcases, to see more of your content, to get them converting onto your page. Now, if you do more, right, and you've really pushed this thing to its max level, then you want to look at, okay, what can I do better? Right? So what can I improve on my current post? So if I'm already at like, let's say 5 million, 10 million accounts reached, well, I can obviously go and reach more people, but it would also be beneficial to me to kind of like make sure if I'm reaching 10 million people that I can convert a shit ton of new clients in the business as well too. So this comes down to a couple things. This comes down to weapon improvement. This is like way too. This pen is like obviously way too thick for me to like draw on, but we're going to run with it. So weapon improvement overall. Okay. So what this means is, let's say if you have lineups, okay, well, if you stay at like 10 million people reach per month overall, and you improve just like one or two things on your lineups, how they're symmetrical to the overall head shape. Maybe overall you start adding slight enhancements to make things look more natural overall. Maybe you fix a deeper problem that you see a wide variety of your new clients that are coming in all have in common, and you solve that problem. Something that improves this weapon. This doesn't mean that you add more to your service. This means that you just sharpen your skill set, okay? And I really want to emphasize this. Better does not mean you add more in to your service. Better in terms of your weapon, in terms of your skill set, does not mean you need to start doing more. It means you just need to start taking better care of the details. Because I'm willing to bet you, okay, with your current skill set right now, you are dropping the ball on, let's say, effort level at some capacity. We all do that as barbers, right? We will go through a haircut and we kind of go into this autopilot mode instead of taking a really good focus on, okay, during this haircut, I'm just going to focus on the lineup with this one little area right here, whether it be just putting in, like, making sure like both corners are even on the head. Let's say both sidebars are nice and even on the end. Maybe it's again to adding enhancement, looks more natural instead of like making it like look all pitch blacked out. But you need to go in with a good clean focus and keep that one focus for an extended period of time, not switching it day to day. Again, it comes back down to when we go ahead and we're working on something, we focus solely on one thing for an extended period of time. Because let's say, for instance, you were, I don't know, let's say, for instance, you were a, let's say, for instance, you're a professional like sports player, right? Or let's say you're an Olympic athlete overall, right? Let's say you are competing, like let's say for wild instance, you are competing in swimming, you're competing in gymnastics, and you're competing in the basketball team as well too. Well, you're going against the best of the best in the world, right? You probably want 100% of your focus in just one thing and not 33% of your focus in every single one of those buckets, because you don't have that much time as humanly possible. Same thing when we're thinking about improving a weapon. We don't want to jump around from thing to thing to thing to thing. We want good, clean focus on one thing over an extended period of time, because that's how everything improves. Like literally anything in this world, you can think about, let's say somebody who bodybuilds, civilization, anything in education as well too. Anything you've ever done has been come out of like good, clean, solid focus on one thing for an extended period of time, instead of getting jittery, instead of getting shiny object syndrome, instead of hopping to thing to thing to thing to thing every single day, getting distracted. This is where, again, to a lot of the barber industry will lose. And this is where you will win, because everybody wants to hop to the new thing. Everybody wants to do the new thing. Everyone wants to go ahead and focus on something different instead of just getting disciplined and taking care of business of what they've been doing for the last 5 years and taking it to its max level and really seeing how great you can be, instead of just like, oh, I'm getting bored. Let me go ahead and get this new dopamine somewhere else and jump to this new thing because I just need some more stimulation in my life, versus running a good business, being a good business owner, and not being someone who's just dopamine dependent and like out here like with your head cut off, like a chicken with its head cut off. Okay. So that's in terms of how you improve something to get better. Now, after we go get something working, after we do more of it, after we improve it and make it better, the only last thing we can do is go to something that is new, right? What this means is, if all we've done is Instagram up to this point, right? We've not done TikTok whatsoever. And we've run through this whole process of get Instagram working, do more on Instagram, make it better on Instagram, and there's nothing more of this to do whatsoever. Then we can think about, all right, maybe we go into TikTok. I just completely messed that spelling up. But we'll go into TikTok, right? And then we do the same process. You first get it working, then you do more, then you do better. And then you just keep on going through that process until you can't get it further anymore. And then you think, well, what else can I do? Is it YouTube? Is it Facebook? Is it something else? Is it a different platform altogether? Is it Twitter? Is it Threads, right? All these things are different platforms that we can overtake to generate new clients into the business. And it follows a simple process. Get it working, do more, get it better. Then maybe we think about new. Now, what I will say to kind of wrap this up in its essence overall, okay? What you don't want to have yourself doing or falling susceptible to is getting something working and barely doing more of it and just hopping to making it better, and then having the lowest standard possible for yourself because you want to get to and try the new thing. Everyone loves doing new things all the time, even myself, right? A lot of people, including myself, it's hard to like stay disciplined and learn to love the boring routine, right? But this is where great businesses are made as barbers, getting it working, doing more, and just staying in this more until you set a new standard for the industry. Too many people get something working and then do more and then just barely do more than above average and then want to just switch to better instead of doing more and more and more and keep raising the bar higher and setting that thing as high as possible and says, you know what, the rest of the barber industry, try to catch me up here. Because that's when you're going to have something great. That's when you're going to go ahead and stand out from the rest of the market, especially when we're creating content. Because we're not just creating content. You're creating a lifelong brand. And if you're creating a lifelong brand, you probably want to go ahead and set that bar really freaking high that nobody else can go ahead and catch you. So hopefully this makes a lot more sense. And hopefully when you're going through this process, you're not thinking, okay, how can I get more new clients? You got to be thinking, let me get this thing working. And then let me go ahead and do more. And then let me get better. And then, you know what? Let me just do more after I get the thing better. Let me do more of the better stuff then, right? And then once I do more of the better stuff, can I even make it better than that? And your last resort is then going to something that is new, okay? So hopefully that gives you a little more clarity on what you should be thinking about when you're generating new clients into your business as a barber. Get it working, do more, do better, do more, do better, do more of better, do better of more, do more of better, do better of more, and continue that cycle. And then your last resort, then you want to think about doing something new, because those individuals who stick in that process, who don't jump off the more better cycle, will beat out every single other individual in the barber industry, in their business, with getting new clients, with income level, who are just going to settle for just above average results. And I don't think that if you're listening to this podcast, you just want to settle for just above average. So hopefully that brings a lot of clarity to you, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.